这个选手在这个场地呢进行了一个这个比赛前的一个彩排。那么接下来呢，我们就会带大家去看一看。
Right now, gathering here, they already finished their rehearsal.
好的，那么刚刚哈，大家可能也通过我们的介绍知道，今天给大家带来的这场直播呢，是在韩国的国会前的草坪上来进行的一场有1万名的这个来自韩国各地的这种跆拳道爱好者在集体进行一个跆拳道表演的这个项目。大家通过我们的这个介绍哈，通过我们网络的推广，可能也已经知道了为什么今天选择在今天在韩国进行这样一场这个活动呢？其实我们知道最近很快在4月27号就将进行这个朝韩的首脑会谈。那么这次的这个万人集体来表演跆拳道的活动，实际上也是在为即将到来的这个朝韩首脑会谈来加油鼓劲。那么同时
also give the opportunity here. We want to through a performance to pray for the peace and stability of Korean Peninsula and also pray for the future development over Korean Peninsula. So at today's venue, with tens of thousands of people gathering here, is very meaningful. We have 10,000 taekwondo lovers will also make the challenge to break the record of Guinness. Let's give you a closer look at these 10,000 taekwondo lovers from the different places right now gathering here. They are doing the rehearsal. We have a lot of kids also showing up here today. Yes, that's also the point I would like to mention, because from our angle, from this aspect, we see the students. They believe their age between 10 to 15 years old. I believe that's maybe also their subjects they need to learn at school. For Taekwondo, if we mention these sports, we can tell that in Seoul, this is their national martial arts. This is their national sports. So when you mention Taekwondo, they always think, oh, it's from South Korea. And we also see that every 4 Korean people, 1 out of 4 know the Taekwondo skills, especially for the guys. So if the majority of them actually practice the Taekwondo. If you didn't practice when you were young, then people will laugh at you. So this is with a very mass population base. So what about the situation in Hong Kong? Can you see the people practicing Taekwondo in Hong Kong? Actually, Taekwondo is quite popular in Hong Kong. I also have a lot of kids. I know a lot of kids actually learn Taekwondo lessons. And you can see a group of 3 to 5 like young kids that wear the same suits on the street. They're very energetic. I believe they just finished their lessons of Taekwondo. Lee Jae-jun is also a young mother. What about your kids? Will you send them to the Taekwondo class to strengthen their bodies? Yes, actually, I encouraged my kid to learn Taekwondo before. Last year, I also brought my kids here to take some lessons here in Korea. So my kids love it very much. Actually, it's a young girl, my baby girl, actually love it very much. It's very good for his body strength and also actually train her mental spirit. I believe this is a really good sport. From our live broadcasting, actually you can see a lot of kids. We also have adults here for Taekwondo. It's a very large population base. So believe they just finished the rehearsal. So why we have these tens of thousands of taekwondo lovers gathering here? Right now it's around 10,000 people from ROK. After the rehearsal, and we will invite the staff from Guinness World Record Committee to witness the whole record-breaking moment. In Seoul today is really warm. So right now it's come to the rest time. So although the weather is hot, you can tell that people in the very high enthusiasm, they're very passionate. You can also see a lot of girls. Tangxin, did you know they have different color of belts? For the black one, I can tell they have the highest techniques. Yes, actually, we use different color of belts to identify the different skills or levels. We see the black ones. So let's give you a closer look. For the black ones, means they are at quite professional levels of taekwondo. For our small keys, you can see this one is with the black and white. So that's not 100% purely black, which means they're at the entry level. But you can see the professional ones, they have the total black ones.
태권도에서 기네스북 도전한다고 해가지고 태권도 유저스 같이 한번 오게 됐습니다. 학교 어디 동아리 태권도장 사범님이 하고 있습니다. 네, 같이 여기 태권도장 아이고요. 같이 아이들끼리 같이 와 나왔습니다. 오늘 또 조만간에 저희 남부 정서회담도 하잖아요. 네. 또 기원하는 그런 뜻도 있는데 그거 혹시 뭐 어떻게 태권도랑 같이 하면서 북한의 또 ITF 태권도랑 같이 좀 연합이 돼가지고 서로 이렇게 태권도를 하면은 대한민국이랑 북한이랑 같이 좀 연결되는 하나의 국기로서 지정됐으면 좋겠습니다. 네, 감사합니다.
We just interviewed one of the participants, and he's a very young trainer actually. All the kids surrounding him actually is from his school. So I asked him, so why you participate in today's event? He said, first, want to challenge a Guinness World Record. Another purpose is want to pray for the peace and stability of Korean Peninsula. For we know, for inter-Korea, taekwondo is the national sport for both Koreans. So in Pyeongchang Olympic Games, we also had the performance team of taekwondo from DPRK. We can tell this the interconnect between both Koreas. For DPRK and ROK, this is the shared cultural results with these years of development. For taekwondo skills actually are different. That's a very technical issues. I cannot really give you the answers, but based on my knowledge, for the different skills, or I'll talk about the associations, federations of taekwondo, I believe there are more or less some differences in different ones. I studied a little bit. In DPRK, more emphasis on the real combat. They have a less self-defense, but in ROK, their styles more focusing on performance styles. So they have the well-defined or well-protected equipment with them. To all the viewers, right now you are watching the live broadcast. This is a real-time show. This is their show time because right now they are trying their best to break Guinness World Record. We have the people wear the blue T-shirt from Guinness Committee, and they are breaking the record right now. I believe this is really a magnificent scene here. For all these large numbers of people, why they know exactly what is the sequence of different movements? I believe they did many rounds of rehearsal, and because I believe this is the fundamentals of Taekwondo, so this is some routines for the Taekwondo lovers. I believe our viewers may also quite curious about that. The only you can hear is 1, 2, 3, 4. The comment or the orders by people know exactly what is the movement and what is the next movement. They have 24 movements. That's for the foundations. So that's the fundamental skills. All the Taekwondo lovers or the Taekwondo practice through the whole process. And they practice every day. But you need to make sure all the movements should be synchronized. So it's like a group sports dancing. We should practice for a long time in order to make sure we have the movement synchronized. So you've been here for a really long time. Did you practice? For myself, actually, I'm really interested in Taekwondo, but as a correspondent, it's a very busy schedule for work. So just kidding, in no matter it's ROK or DPRK, all the people have their high passion in Taekwondo, and we also have our cameraman is also the local Korean. I believe they also really love Taekwondo. So this is very easy access. So not only in Asia, in Europe, in North America, actually that's also very popular sports. So from a very traditional national sports right now already entered to the global stage. It's one of the Summer Olympic Games category. But right now come to the second part of the show. To all the viewers, if you have any questions or remarks, please leave them at your favorite social media platform. We will pick some questions and give you the feedback.
好的，现在这个稍微移动一下我们的镜头。
So let's give you the different angles. So we are in front of the Parliament House. So this is the square in front of the Parliament House. It's not easy to find this large space to accommodate 10,000 people. It's not easy to find this suitable venue. For Taekwondo, it's show the spirit, right? Yes, actually a lot of sports in the end, it show the sportsmanship. Never give up. I think this is also one of the important elements of Taekwondo. So why we have these events is want to pray the peace in Korean Peninsula. And you are here in Korea for the next weeks. Leader Summit. So what do you think about interactions between both Koreans? I've been in Seoul for many days already and did a lot of interviews with the local Koreans. And the ROK people had high hopes and expectations for the upcoming Leader Summit. Especially after the Pyeongchang Olympic Games, people think the tension between both Koreans actually are mitigated. So they are looking forward more interactions, communications between the both sides. And they also invite people from DPRK to pay a visit to Seoul.
Oh, you can hear the background sound. It's a little bit noisy because we have 10,000 people practicing taekwondo. Though we are in front of them, we can hear the very loud voices of the group. I feel very excited by hearing the sound, even though I have learned practice taekwondo before. But I think it is a good sport. It only helps you to exercise, lose some weight, and also a practice that can defend yourself. So after back to Hong Kong, I would like to take a practice in taekwondo. You can see all of the moves are quite neat. For this challenge, it will take around 10 minutes. During these 10 minutes, they will continue to demonstrate the routines and the fundamental moves of taekwondo. We can see they're demonstrating in a very unified manner. Saying that actually we are quite impressed by this atmosphere. And also you can see a lot of the citizens are coming here. Maybe some of them are parents or relatives of these athletes. Maybe they also sign up for these events but not being selected. So earlier I heard that at the time a post was sent out for recruitment of the athletes for demonstration. Over 20,000 people registered for the demonstration, but only 10,000 people got selected. This is a very significant moment to demonstrate in order to challenge the Guinness World Record. So we think the Inter-Korea Summit will be a historic moment for both nations. So we think by demonstrating sports, maybe more and more open dialogue will be taking place between ROK and the DPRK. We think through culture and the sports exchange, it will help both sides to further communicate with each other. And for the two countries, actually there were some differences in taekwondo routines, so it's a good opportunity for them to exchange their views on the same sports. We can see they do a very nice kick. If you're not practicing taekwondo, maybe it is very difficult to make these moves. Even though they're young kids, but they can do the move perfectly. They must have done a lot of preparation for this event. Now the organizer is saying that now it is the last round of routine. Now they're counting 1, 2, 3, 4.
我刚刚数了一下，他们是总共是从1数到了17。
I've counted. They're counting from 1 to 17. So does that mean they have succeeded in the Guinness World Record challenge? It's out of the question because we can see all of them cheering and congratulating with each other. So I think it is quite interesting. As long as you can gather a large group, then you can break the record for the Guinness. So for this time, from the quantity perspective, they break the record. Now we can see the working staff from the Guinness headquarters. Let's see what happened there. And the organizer, together with the working staff of the Guinness headquarters, they are at the central stage. Now they are verifying the results. They will double count the number of participants and also evaluate on the moves and the performance of the taekwondo. And later on, they will announce the results. Actually, it is out of question. In the past, CCTV also organized similar events to find an open space and do some demonstration in order to break the Guinness record. Now let's take a look on the field. Now the working staff is verifying the results. I have just talked to the staff, and her duty is to verify the result, to check whether the moves are correct. I asked her whether she knows the moves are correct, and she said actually she's a professional, so she understands perfectly about the routines of the taekwondo. So now we are waiting for the final results. So even though we think it is out of question, but we can see all of the working staff, they're very serious about the results. They're checking the results, verifying the performance. So each person have a designated area, so she will check whether some of the participants do the wrong move. The temperature is very high here. So the participants are resting right now. While we're waiting for the results, we can see the organizer also prepare some performances. And also some celebrities will take part in those performances. On one hand, they want to congratulate and cheer up for the challenge, and also they want to pray for the peace and stability of the Korea peninsula. and congratulate on the opening of the Inter-Korean Summit. It's a very excellent performance, and we also see some aircraft flying above the sky, the aerobatic team. Actually, before the live streaming started, there is an aerobatic performance that was performed by the Black Eagle team. So the aircraft just performing stunts above the sky. It's very beautiful. So we can see the organizers attach great importance to this event, because this event is to pray for the peace and stability of the Korea Peninsula. Because we think for this area, it's not a large place. We really want to safeguard the peace and stability. Now we can see that there are some people doing the drum beating performance on the stage. Try to get closer to the group. We just want to feel what are they feeling. According to the organizers, in addition to some children, there are also a large group of adults participating in the event. We see so many children here today. We see so many children here, they're very excited in front of the camera. It is very meaningful for them to participate in such an event during weekend. It will be a moment that we'll never forget for the whole life. So for the venue, it is the Parliament House. We see this Parliament House in some news coverage. So this place is very important. In the past, it is with political significance. When we do some coverage about political issues, we will come to this Parliament House. But today is very special. So on this lawn, in front of the Parliament House, does it often host its events like this? As I just said before, it's very difficult to find such a large venue in ROK. We see the kids very exciting about our camera. So maybe ROK is very developed in the entertainment sector and the media sector, so they get a lot of exposure about the coverage and the media, so they're not afraid of the camera. Actually, these are the participants of today's event. You see a lot of smiling faces in front of the camera.
You can see their face is turning red because the temperature here is really high. That's also reflects the spirit of Taekwondo. So any sports, if you want to manage a high skilled, so you need to train really hard, sometimes in a very critical environment. So if we talk about from this angle, this is the Parliament House. If we look from here, this is a really huge event venue. And this is the library of the Parliament. And we also can see this is the largest library. And here actually is the political center in Seoul. Last time for the live broadcast is the swearing in ceremony for the President Moon Jae-in. Time flies. So you see their uniforms at the back. They mentioned that they're from different college, university, clubs. So they have different graphics at the back. Talking about the ROK, Taekwondo is so popular, and a lot of actually companies, they also have their own Taekwondo teams. Just now we also have the parliament members. Actually, for the parliament members, they also organize their own Taekwondo clubs. So maybe for all the Chinese media friends, we can organize a Taekwondo club. So it's maybe come to the end of our live streaming. So looking at this scene, what's your feedback? Actually, this is really impressive for me, unforgettable. I think this is a really rare opportunity for me to do a live broadcasting here. For me, this is really, really good memory for me. For myself, normally we focus on like the cultural or sports areas. There are not a lot of media coverage actually. Although this is just a sport, Taekwondo, but it shows the good wishes or goodwill for the both Korean, for the both people from the both sides, and also through the sports, we wish the denuclearization, the peace and stability of Korean peninsula. Thank you all the viewers. And this is a very meaningful event. And please pay more attention for the upcoming summit. And we will give you more coverage. Thank you for watching.